Hi Divas, it's Anna coming to you with a tutorial on how to make these little, I'm keeping this button here so that I know where my center is on the camera, and so I don't have to look in it because where I'm in the position I'm in I can't see what you see. So I wanted to make sure I showed you, see this one is a little mini one, I did, and the ones I showed you before was this size, and then in here is the mini size one, using the belt buckle and the little, this is the 10mm one, this is the smaller size one. And then I did a different one right here, using for it to be doubled, one here, here, and here. So there is no squishing in the middle, like see how it looks bunched in this right here, it looks bunched. You're not going to see that here because they're laid on flat right on top of each other. So there is, if you see in the back, there's nothing back here. So I was just messing around seeing how it would look if I was to do like a double looped one. Because if you do this and you tie them, it becomes too bulky and it doesn't look good, because I tried that. So then here's, of course, this is a bigger one. Okay, and then of course, you know, the pink one that you got your ladies seen earlier. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you how to do these, because I had a request to show how to do it. You ladies, a lot of you ladies probably already know how, but for some girls out there that are starting out, they don't know. So now I'm gonna do this little miniature one right here, and what these are, I guesstimate. I am the queen of guesstimation, but these are about 4 inches. Okay, so these are about 4 inches by a little short of 1 inch. 1 inch about here, and then about 4 here, to make this little tiny miniature one. Okay, so you can cut them evenly, it doesn't matter, because you're gonna, when you do the ribbon part, this part down here, you're gonna have to adjust it once you glue it on anyway, so don't worry about that size being a certain size until you've already adhered this on it. Okay, so I'm going to use this little buckle with the 10mm flat back in there. And all you do is you get this hot glue. You're going to hot glue this right here, right at the very edge. You're going to turn it in to where you're making it like a circle. Okay. And then this is how it is. Okay. So it's just a little circle that you're making, and the glue is being adhered on the inside. Well, you could probably turn it around the other way and do it that way too. I don't know. I'm just used to doing it that way. Whatever works for you. Okay, so that part is already done. Okay, then this is where you decide how you want it positioned on your felt. I like it to be I like the ribbon to be here. I don't like it to hang out too far. So this is where I would snip it on. Then all I do is I put glue on the back part. A thin strip, not too thick, because when you have to tie it, it makes it difficult if the glue is too chunky. Okay? So then I stick it where I think I want the ribbon to come to an end over here. Do not adhere in here. Okay? So you don't want to adhere this to this. That part doesn't get no glue. Okay? And then this is just where you cut off what the extra you don't need, and then you just create your little fish tail. Okay, and then to this side. Okay, there. Okay, so that is how it is so far. Okay, then I have this jute that is a small skinny type jute, and what I do is I put it from the bottom and I tie up here first, because then it squishes it in much better. I've noticed if I start from the top and then I tie it back here, it doesn't give it the same effect. It's completely, you know, like I said, it's up to you. So what I do is I put it in the middle and I tie it. Okay, then you just find your center. A little too much to one side. Okay. And see how it creates the gathered in the middle. And that's the way I want it, except it keeps going to one side more than the other. Okay, there we go. Then I turn it around and I tie it again. And you want to do it tight, okay? So because you want that gathering right there. So I tied it the once, and then I'm going to tie it again. Don't do it super duper duper tight. I mean, to the point where it's lifting up, but you want it to gather. So that's all I'm doing. Okay. So in the back it looks like it's more one side, but not in the front. Okay. And then all I do at this point is I just cut off the loose pieces. Okay. And then I just add in the middle hot glue, add my center, okay, I put glue on my nail, okay, and then that's it. That is, like, you know, the little bow. And in the back you can add something back here, and you see that it looks like it's on one side more than the other, and that's probably because the hot glue that dried in there, it's too hard to get around. But I don't care about the back part because that's going to be adhered to some. I don't want this to look like that on this side. So this part, you know, it looks centered to me. So that's all that matters. Okay, so that's just another miniature bow. Okay, then to do another one, but using a button with a shank. Okay, so a shank meaning the back part that has the little loop. We're going to do the same thing. We're going to add the glue to the end, and then adhere it. Oops, sorry if I was off camera. Okay, so then back to just a little circle. Okay, then we're going to do the same thing. We're going to pick our spot where we want to add the glue to the felt to stick on to the ribbon part at the bottom, or the fishtail part, I should say. Okay, and then that's that. Okay, then this is where you cut off where you think, you know, where the side's not going to be looking more than the other. Okay, and we're going to cut our fishtail. And then cut our fishtail. Okay, now we're going to get our jute. Or you can use, you don't have to use jute, but you can use tulle too. You just need something that's very skinny and very thin, because if it's thicker and heavier and bulkier, it won't gather in the middle very good. Okay, so let's tie this. Okay. Flip it over, and we're going to tie it again. And then one more time to seal the knot. Okay, oops. I'm trying to find my center because what it did is it looked like it went to the side a little more. Oops. Okay. Lack of cooperation from the bow, that's great. That's always nice. Let me actually cut off this little bit of glue that's sticking out. Okay, this one isn't working for me. So, nothing like a tutorial when something goes wrong, because that's perfect, right? Gotta have that. Just because nobody's going to do it right the first time anyways. Unless you're super awesome. You could probably do that. But that's not me. Okay. So now that I undid it, and I'm trying to do it again. Okay, I swear when I do them, they are never this complicated to do. There we go. Okay, we can do this. We're going to tie, I've already flipped it over. Okay, so you tie the one time. This time, this is where you would normally tie the double knots, right? Well, you're going to bring it back up. You get your shank, okay? Then you have the one side that goes through here. Then you're going to grab the other side and you're going to take it the opposite direction. Okay? Sorry, ladies. So it looks like this. Okay? Then you're going to pull those. Pull those through. And there we go. And then it's centered in the middle. Okay? Then you're going to take it to the back and you're going to knot. And this is what's going to finish it off. Okay? Then do it again. And then we're going to cut off the loose pieces. And this is where you are definitely going to want to, what do you call it? Put a little bit of hot glue back here because it's not going to, you know, it could come unraveled. And that's what I do. I add a little bit. Or if you have a little tiny circle punch, then put it back there because then so you can add it onto your project. See, I just stuck my hand in the glue. So that is how you would add one with a shank on a button. Or you could just cut the shank off, honestly, and just pop it on. You really don't have to do it this way. It's whatever works for you. Okay? So that's with the shank. Okay, now this one right here, let me get the glue off my finger. This is one that I created using Fiona's tutorial, which is the beads that you just glue on. The only thing is she does it like it's nothing. I give her so much credit for doing that. I did it and my beads they would fall apart or they would look all deformed. So Cynthia Luhu came up with another one with Fiona's design, but used wire, and that's what I did. So I don't know if you'll notice, but this in the back is wired. So there's wire traveling through every one of the beads. These right here are actually there is no hot glue in those. The beads traveled through too. It's kind of hard to explain. You got to watch her video, but it was much easier for me to do it this way, where all the beads stayed together because. I don't know. I'm not super fab like Fiona. I can't do it. But I absolutely love her design. So I made these a while ago. So I'm going to use this as my flower center for this next one. This one will be a little bit bigger, okay, than the little tiny one that I was just doing. Okay. So then I'm going to find my center. Uh-oh, I was running out of glue. And then I'm going to put it down. Okay. Then this one is a little bit longer. Okay, and I'm going to cut my fishtail. I give you girls credit for being able to do tutorials and talk as you do it and do such an awesome job, because you know what, you'd think it's like really easy, but it's like, man, it takes like serious concentration and you got to make sure that you're doing this or you're doing that. I actually don't mind it. I really wish I'd whatever I can find out and I can show, I'm more than happy to share it. But man, I just admire you ladies that do it, like such an awesome job in tutorials. If it wasn't for you guys, I'd be a lost little puppy. Okay, so now to find the center, which is right there. Okay, turn it over. This is where we're going to tie it. In the back. Scoot it to the side. And then we're going to tie it again to make the knot. Okay. Okay, and then we're going to cut these off. Then we're going to add this type of center. And I think I'm out of glue, so let me refill my gun. Okay. I don't like to add just a little gob. I gotta add a whole bunch of gob. Okay. So then just push it down. Okay. So this right here is another bow. So here are the ones. Actually, I didn't make that one right now. Okay. So you have, you know, different centers. You ladies are like super awesome and know exactly what centers you would like to add, and then even change it up and make it your own style, whatever works. So this right here is with a beaded, this is with a buckle, and this is with a button with a shank in the back. And like I said, you can take off the shank and just glue it on and call it a day. You don't have to do it this way. So this way it will move around, but it will be centered. So there's no problem with that. Okay, ladies, so I hope that helped. I hope that was a pretty okay tutorial to help you to figure out how to do these. It's really super duper simple. Okay, and thank you so much, ladies, for stopping by, and go make some. They're so fun. You don't need to go buy the other name brand ones because, come on, this was like super cheap to do. Okay, so have a super fabby day, ladies, and my last video will be of my junk gear tag. All right, see you later. Bye.